A while back, my dear friend and editor Caitlin reached out to me with a question, one that emerged from the angst and human discord we see and know all too well. Could you write a book about how to get along when we disagree? She and her team had been talking about civility in the church. How should Christians interact with one another when they have disagreements? How should followers of Jesus interact in an increasingly polarized political climate? She said I was someone who came to mind as trustworthy to write about all that because she's seen me strive to host kind, nuanced discussions about difficult topics on my social media. It's something I have a particular passion for, whether we're talking about abortion, theological differences, LGBTQ+ issues, or politics. My social media community has grown to, mostly, respect each other even when they seriously disagree. I'd been asked to write that kind of book before, but I had always turned those requests down. I wasn't convinced I had enough insight. But Caitlin and the wise folks at Nav Press had another idea, too. What if the book had two authors? What if the co-authors had different experiences, approaches, and ideas? What if they even disagreed sometimes? Then Caitlin floated the name of a person I love and respect a great deal, Khang. Kathy is an activist, a voice for change, a person who speaks her mind and is ferociously protective of the vulnerable. She's the author of the amazing book Raise Your Voice, among other things, and despite our mutual affection for each other, we're vastly different people. I'm a white man born in the United States, while Kathy is a woman of color, an immigrant, and a naturalized citizen of the U.S. She lives near Chicago. I'm on the West Coast. I'm inclined to explore different possibilities in a conversation or issue to the point of uncertainty, and Kathy's quick-minded clarity cuts through the uncertainty with assurance and direction. We have a lot in common, too. We both love Jesus. We have some similar concerns about Christian communities today. We've both been full-time missionaries in the past. We both have families. We both love to write. And despite our really different approaches, we both deeply care about people. All of which to say, I immediately knew both that Caitlin had chosen the perfect co-writer and that Kathy would never agree to do it. Although Caitlin had pitched a compelling idea and an amazing co-author, I decided not to mention it to Kathy. I planned to politely decline on behalf of us both. But then our mutual friend JR asked me a wise question. Why are you saying no for Kathy?
This book almost didn't happen because I almost didn't know about it. Matt was going to say no before asking his potential co-author. When Matt and I talked about why he'd at first decided not to ask me, it dawned on me that we had stumbled into part of the issue we are trying to address in this book. We are well-meaning. We have good intentions. We think we know each other, what each other's motivations are, and ultimately what we would do in each other's situation. But we don't. Thankfully, Matt talked with JR, who talked some sense into Matt. Matt asked me, and although we are friends, my answer was not what he expected. And when we talked about how this all came about, Matt was a little embarrassed that he thought he could speak on my behalf. I told him that as a woman of color and a former campus minister, I was completely used to it. Christian brothers have always thought it was their job to protect me, speak for me, and correct me. Sure, I had been telling him and our podcast co-hosts/friends that I wasn't sure if I would continue writing in the Christian space, whether I had anything else to say or if I had the energy. But what Matt didn't know was that the invitation to tackle the public bickering and fighting together was the perfect project. Because what I do have energy for is to build a few more bridges of understanding between people, between Christians.
As Kathy and I started talking, we quickly realized there was one more issue. That original word, civility, isn't something of particular use for Christians. Civility is about politeness. It's about courtesy within society and politics.